Hello, this is Talamir and welcome to another repair video. In this video we are going to be looking at this Nintendo Switch Lite. As you can clearly see, you've got one stick that's completely sheared off and the other one is in a bit of rough condition. Now, the customer wasn't fully hot in getting this one replaced, so we're going to take a look at it and see if there's any issues with it. We may end up changing it out regardless, but yeah, if it's got any stick drift, then that needs to be resolved. To begin with, we got these little screws right here. They are Y-wing screws. These ones are not magnetic, these screws. Just keep that in mind. If they are magnetic, it is a strong indicator that they have been replaced and that the console has been opened before. And we got those four out. There's two on the bottom, and there is also two on the top. The ones on the bottom and the top, those are standard Phillips. I usually use the Phillips 000. PH 000. It works well. These should also not be magnetic. Now, just in case, it is a good idea to take out the SD card, and if there is a game in there, you want to take that out as well. This bit is pretty easy. You're just prying up lightly, and if you're having some difficulties getting in there, just use a pry tool. Something like this would work great. It's not clipped in particularly hard. It's pretty easy going. Then you're going to pull it from the bottom, and you're going to lever it up from the bottom to the top, because this little guy right here, the 3.5mm headphone jack, that can get stuck in there. So you're going to go from the bottom and go through to the top. Like that. There we go. We're in. Now at this point, there isn't a whole lot going on here. You got to keep in mind where it is. It's right here. So you got to get this board off and get in behind there. To do that, you're going to have to remove the speaker right here. Get that little cable out as well. Flip up the SPF-BC connectors. Little thing there, then you can pull the cable out. I'm going to use a plastic spudger. I don't want to damage that cable. I'm just being a little bit overly cautious. It'd probably be fine. Now you should be able to get to the speaker. There we go. I can unplug it. I like to use a pair of pliers to get it out, but if you don't have a pair of needle nose pliers, you can use your nails. Don't grab onto the connector underneath the plug. It's just slightly yellow. You want to grab the white bit where the wires are directly coming out. You just pull on that and you can wiggle it back and forth till it comes out, just like that. From there, you've got a few connectors. You got two here and you got one right here. Those all have connectors that are on the back. You're just going to pop them up. Very good, that's all done. You can see them. Keep in mind also the position of this cable. This is the power button. You can remove it right now, but you got to remember to put back into that place. You do not want to crush that cable. If you do, you will likely have to replace it. You really don't want to have to do that. I'm removing it just because it's easier to remove that cable than it is to leave it in place. Next, you got a screw right here, and then this little assembly here for this shoulder button will come out. I like to keep the screws together. So for example, right here, I know this screw here is for the speaker, so that will go there. I'll have another place over there for the shoulder button. There we go, comes out very easily. There is a little rubber thing right there as well. It can fall out. Just keep that in mind. It can fall out. From there, just going to go and wiggle these cables out. There, and this one. There we go. And then we have some board level screws. They are color coded, these ones. So just keep that in mind as well for the board. I want to put them back in their original spot. I wanted to test that other... Oh well, we'll get this done first. I can still turn it on. And we got one more screw that I missed. Right here. You'll notice that I'm trying to put the original screws in a particular order, just so that I remember more easily the position. There we go. That's out. You got the little rubber gasket there as well. It will fall off. This one seems to be relatively stuck on, but it can definitely fall off if you're not paying attention. Right, we are all the way down to the joystick for this thumbstick. Let's get that out. Now, I buy these from a supplier. You can find them on Amazon if you put in something like, what is this? Nintendo Switch 3D analog joystick replacement or thumbstick replacement. You should be able to find it on Amazon. You can find them also on eBay. I'm sure there's also some places, some websites that are dedicated to it as well. But my parts supplier they sell specifically to shops, and I'm a shop. Well, I'm a shop in my home. And I've got that in place. There is a little bit of friction when pushing this through. You just be careful when you're doing it, and be patient. It'll push through. It's not hard. So you saw the D-pad just fell out. We'll worry about that in a moment. There we go. That's in place. Now, to my knowledge, these are actually supposed to be white. The customer said it was black, so I purchased black ones. It's clearly not what's supposed to be in there. Okay, that's in, but the cable for the Joy-Con is underneath for the thumbstick, so I'm just lifting it up a little, slipping it back in place, and now we can put that back in. This is going to be a real pain. I'm taking this out for now. I don't want to lose the spring. And I'm going to put the screws back in place for this board before I start putting the cables back in. Otherwise, this is going to be really hard and fiddly. It's back in place. I'm going to put this cable in right now, just because it's going to be easier before putting the speaker back in. There we go. Slips in very easily. Then you just put the little tab back down on the FPC connector, and you're good to go for that cable. On to the next one. We got this little guy right here. It would probably be better if you have some precision tweezers for these little guys. Otherwise, it can be very tedious. Even with these little guys, it's not easy to get them in. Finally, I haven't put the button back in for the power buttons and all that. But let's get this one in, and then we can put that shoulder button back in place. Good. That's done. I'm going to definitely put this in first. You just got to keep in mind that it's going to be routed through the shoulder buttons housing, but I think with it how it is, it would be easier to put it in right now. If you look right here, there's these little things off to the sides, these little brown things, and you know that it's in the right place when those are pretty darn close to flush with this FPC connector. So that's how you know. Now we got that in place. Let's go get that shoulder button in. We're gonna have to take this back out just so that it's not getting squished. And then you can thread it through this little area right here, and then put it back into its proper place right there. There we go. I'm forgetting to do something. Get that trigger in first. With the spring, you do want to put your finger over top of it. Just you don't want to lose that spring. I have extra springs in stock, but if you're doing this yourself and you don't have extra parts available to you, you really don't want to lose that. Now, before I feed that button back in completely, it would help if I could just pull it slightly away so I can put the screws in for that shoulder button. There we are. Good and proper. Final stretch for this one. Then we're going to do some testing before moving on to the other side. That's all in place. Let's turn the power on, and we're going to just give this a gander. Oh, it's low on battery. So when you're charging this thing up, if you do not have the proper charger that is provided with the Nintendo Switch or the Nintendo Switch Lite, do not worry about it. It is not the biggest deal in the world. You can use a regular phone charger, like USB-C phone charger. It will charge at 5 volts. It will be slow. I can demonstrate what this is going to look like. So this is currently connected through a 5 volt cable. This, what it's using right now, will not provide fast charging. It will not go beyond 5 volts to my knowledge. So when I plug this in, it's going to draw as high an amperage as it possibly can. It's pulling at 5 volts at about 400 milliamps. It ain't much, but if you're using one of these thick boy cables, this one is meant for fast charging. It's capable of 5 volts, 9 volts, and 12 volts, and I think it might be capable of even 15 volts. And I also have it plugged into a fast charger as well. The port that I'm using is for fast charging. You see there? It's pretty much at 12 volts as well. so that is a much faster charge. Let's get into some testing. We're looking to calibrate control sticks, and I'm going to go on this one first. You just hold it over to the left until it registers. You notice that it is off center, and this is because they need to be calibrated after installation. When you're doing your first test, you're just going around to see whether or not it has any issues. If it's drifting or anything, it shouldn't, but never know. Now we got to calibrate it. So you're going to press X to calibrate it. There we go. Now you see it's dead center. Great. That one's done. We're going to go back, and we're going to go and check this one out. Just hold it to the right or the left. It's dead on. There's no issues. Oh. So it's going all the way to the top, but it's not going all the way to the bottom. You have to really push it. You got to force it really hard. You see that? So we know for a certainty that this one also needs to be replaced regardless, because it's not going all the way to the bottom. It's skipping that bottom right there. Procedure is relatively similar to this one. There is some cables that are missing though that are not in the other one. I'm going to start off with that shoulder button first. I think on this side, if I'm remembering correctly, the whole shield needs to come off. Got a lot of screws to take out. I'm going to cut to after I have this all done. Well, I got that out. It was mostly just a lot of screws. It comes out pretty easily once you get these cables out. You just wiggle it out very slowly, and it comes out. I've already got the thermal paste all cleaned off. Just a little bit of alcohol and a cotton swab. And I just gotta get this out. 2 screws, toss in the new one. That explains it. You see that? There's a chip out of it. That is not at all what it should look like. You see this one? This one's even in better shape than this one's in. Now if you forgot, just as I just forgot, which direction this little cable goes, it's pretty straightforward for it. Look at the original cable, the original board. You're knowing that it's slotting upwards towards the top of the console. And also the screws, their position, can also help. I mean, if you do turn it around this way instead, it'll still fit, but I mean, you're not going to be able to connect that cable in. Okay, that's in. Put the screws back in, and then we just got to get the console back together, put some new thermal paste in. We're good to go. Lots of cables that need to go back into very particular locations. For example, this little guy right here, you really want to make sure that that is not hidden behind the board. It can be a real pain to get this one out if it's covered by the board. So I'm going to start off down below here. I'm going to try to slot in over that. The other ones are easy to deal with. Now we just have the one for the thumbstick. That one can be a little bit fiddly. It is behind there and underneath the board right now. I would love to have gotten it out beforehand, but it's still easier to deal with than the fan. See? So much easier than dealing with the fan. If this one's behind there, you're fiddling around with it, at least in my experience, a good 5-10 minutes. And you just start hating life while you're trying to get that thing in. So, yeah, that's a big recommendation. Try to make sure that this cable is above before putting the motherboard in completely. See how easy that was? Now just for the rest of the cables. Time to put some new thermal paste on. You have to put it on both sides. You got 2 sides to put this on. You can put it right in the center of here, or you can put it in the center of here. Either one's fine. You don't need a lot. There we go. Let's get those screws in place. And it does take a little bit more than normal for this. Just like that. Just like that. Good to go there. The rest of the screws that are remaining either go on the shield, or they are screws that go on the shell. There we go. All the internal screws are in place. I should have actually tested this before. Oh, it'll be fine. I haven't encountered a dead one yet. I think it'll be fine. I should have tested it though before screwing everything back together. It was this one that we changed out. This one right here. See, it is slightly off, as you can see. So we need to calibrate it. There we go. That's done. And it's working fine. Good. There's another test that I need to do. Test input devices, test controller buttons. The ones I'm talking about is pressing down on the thumbsticks themselves to make sure that they are working. They're clearly working. So once again, you got to start off from the top, get over top of the 3.5mm jack, and then you can work on down to the bottom. It's time to get the screws in the back into place. Keep in mind, these are non-magnetic screws, which means they are going to be fiddly to deal with. If you drop them, you might not find them again. So put them in over top of your desk and close to your desk so you don't lose them. I have done that before. I have lost a screw by not putting the screw back in over the desk. There we are. Let's put the SD card back in place. And we are done. It is all done and dusted. Looking good. I wish they were white instead of black. It is looking a little bit odd to me, but they are fully functional, and that is what is most important. The customer actually specified to me that they were supposed to be black, and so that's what I put in. So, that's all there is to this video. If you guys like the video, please do leave a like, and if you want to see more of my stuff, subscribe. We'll see you guys all in another video. Bye.